Alright, y'all, what is up? Welcome into yet another day of Nick's picks for MLB. Hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. Yesterday, guys, we went 8-7. I mean, we're still on the uptick. We're definitely not back yet, but we are definitely getting there. I'll have a graph of our total record. Today, guys, massive trades going down. We're actually going to be talking about that first, then we'll get into picking baseball games. So I kind of realized that just picking baseball games wasn't really enough. So now I'm going to start breaking down some MLB news, if we even have some. Maybe play some pieces of tape that I thought was controversial. All right, our first trade, the first real trade that rocked the boat was James Paxton getting sent back to the Boston Red Sox. I mean, good on the Red Sox. They did what they need to do. They didn't have a lefty starter, and James Paxton is a lefty starter, so good for them. Kevin Kiermaier also announced he's retiring. All right, next trade is the Diamondbacks getting A.J. Puck for Devian Des Los Santos and Andrew Pintar. No, this is not Andrew Painter, who's the really big prospect on the Phillies. No, this is the Marlins. Interesting trade. I thought the Diamondbacks gave up a lot for A.J. Puck, who was struggling a little, but he does add depth to a bullpen that kind of needs it. This is really the trade that got things started. Randy Arozarena went to the Seattle Mariners. We broke this trade down yesterday for Aiden Smith, Brady Hopkins. I mean, the Mariners fleeced. How can you give up less for a stud outfielder? I know Randy Arozarena was struggling, but he was actually starting to find it. And the Mariners swooped him in for a bag of chips. Like, good on the Mariners. Phillies acquire Austin Hayes in exchange to get Sir Anthony Dominguez and Christian Pache. I like that for the Philadelphia Phillies. They really needed an outfielder. Their outfielders hasn't been good this season. Brandon Marsh has missed some time. So I think Austin Hayes, he brings a lot of defense to the table. And I think hitting right-handed will definitely do him good because he can pull the ball into a short left field in Citizens Bank Park. Next trade, the Mariners get Yimi Garcia for Jonathan Clase and Jacob Sharp. Interesting trade. Jonathan Clase, he debuted earlier. For Yimi Garcia, I don't really like that. I think the Mariners kind of overpaid. This is the second to last trade. The Orioles get Zach Eflin. In exchange, the Rays get Ryan Boomeister, who's a right-handed pitcher, infielder Mac Hormuth, and then outfielder Matthew Estel. Interesting trade. And our last trade we'll talk about today, going to be some more tomorrow. Ryan Stanek, who on his birthday, he got traded to the New York Mets in exchange for Ryland Thomas. Very interesting stuff. But anyways, guys, welcome back into picking MLB games. Hope you guys are enjoying this so far. Let's hop in today. We got a lot of tough baseball games to pick. We have probably the two toughest picks of the year. All right, let's get into it. We are already starting off with a very tough pick to open up the day. We have the Texas Rangers taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays won yesterday. Good on them. Kevin Gausman's on the mound. He's been finding it. He has been a lot better lately. Now, this is where the pick is tough because Michael Lorenzen, he's 5-5 with a 3.53. And to be honest, this is a very even pitching matchup. This is the most even pitching matchup I have seen in a while. I'm going to be taking the Toronto Blue Jays today. Normally, I'd take the Texas Rangers, but Kevin Gausman, he's been finding it lately. He's been so much better at home. Blue Jays are at home today. Blue Jays won yesterday in a really tough game, and that definitely gave them some momentum. But for that, I will be taking the Toronto Blue Jays today. Our next game, we meet the San Diego Padres taking on the Baltimore Orioles. Another tough pick with this one. The Orioles are slipping right now. The Orioles have played some really tough games. They just traded Austin Hayes, as we just talked about. Orioles lost 2 out of 3 to the Marlins. Then they just lost yesterday to the Padres. I'm going to be taking the Padres again today. There's no doubt the Padres are rolling and the Orioles are slipping. It just doesn't work out for the Baltimore Orioles today. So for that, I'm taking the San Diego Padres. Our next game, we have the Cincinnati Reds taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. Andrew Abbott is on the mound. He has been a stud this season. Now, the thing that does scare me is Andrew Abbott going up against a righty-heavy lineup. That is the Tampa Bay Rays. But Zach Littell is on the mound against the Cincinnati Reds offense that is rolling as of late. I will be taking the Cincinnati Reds today, but I think it's going to be very high scoring today. But the Reds win. Next game, we have the Atlanta Braves taking on the New York Mets. Give me the Mets. I mean, the Braves, as Ben Verlander said, they're riding the struggle bus. And there's no doubt that that's been the case. But the Mets are also rolling. I know that Tyler McGill is making his first start back off the IL. In his starts, he was 2-4 with a 5.08 ERA. Doesn't really matter how bad the Mets are. They can beat a struggling Braves team. And the Braves continue to fall down the ladder, and the Mets win today. Our next game, we have the Cleveland Guardians taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. The Guardians, they won yesterday. They were able to get a win back against Christopher Sanchez and the Philadelphia Phillies. I don't think that lasts long though. Carlos Carrasco, I mean, he's been getting lucky with the Guardians winning more than half of his starts, even though he has a 3-8 record with a 5.3 ERA. I just think when it comes to the Phillies and facing Carlos Carrasco, I think the Phillies blow them out this game. Give me the Phillies today. Our next game, we have the Minnesota Twins taking on the Detroit Tigers. Another tougher game, but Tarek Skubal is on the mound for the Detroit Tigers. There's no doubt the Tigers are going to win this game today. You guys know how good Tarek Skubal is, how good he was his last time out against the Cleveland Guardians. And Joe Ryan, I know that he has been a little bit shaky, but he still has been good. I do think this game will be close. It is going to be a pitcher's duel. Usually pitcher's duels these days are like 7-6. I do think it's going to be lower scoring than that. But for that, I'll be taking the Tigers today. Another very, very tough pick on hand. We have the Chicago Cubs taking on the Kansas City Royals. Seth Lugo is on the mound today against Shota Imanaga. I thought about picking the Cubs, but I'm like, no, the Royals are rolling right now, and there's no doubt about it. Seth Lugo, he didn't have his best stuff his last time out against the Boston Red Sox. He did kind of get shelled by the lefties. He still only gave up 3 runs, which is good to see for Seth Lugo, but I think Seth Lugo bounce back start today against the Chicago Cubs. And Shota Imanaga, he's been super inconsistent lately ever since he met Angel Reese. He's been so unbelievably inconsistent. But for that, yeah, I will be taking the Kansas City Royals today. Next game, the Los Angeles Dodgers taking on the Houston Astros. Justin Robleski on the mound for the Los Angeles Dodgers. This is how injury-riddled the Dodgers rotation is. Oh, they did get Clayton Kershaw back, so that is good to see. Taking the Astros again. The Astros got a big win yesterday against the Dodgers 4-0, and Ronel Blanco is on the mound today for the Houston Astros. And we all know how good Ronel Blanco has been this season. But for that, I'll be taking the Houston Astros today. Underdog pick of the day, we have the Miami Marlins taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. Give me the Miami Marlins. I know that Max Meyer is coming back from AAA. In his starts up here, he was 2-0 with a 2.12 ERA. I don't know why he got sent down. But yeah, he is making his first start back against a lefty-heavy Brewers offense that is missing some lefties right now. And Aaron Savali this season, 2-7 with a 5 ERA. He just continues to struggle, fall down the ladder. I will be taking the Marlins because I just don't trust Aaron Savali. And the Marlins are absolutely rolling right now. They got a win yesterday, and they took 2 out of 3 from the Baltimore Orioles. I do like the Marlins today. Our next game, we have the Washington Nationals taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. I will be taking the Cardinals today. Very, very even pitching matchup today. Kyle Gibson against Jake Irvin. You guys know me, how much I like to pick Kyle Gibson whenever he's pitching because he is just such a tough battle. And then usually the bullpen's just better whenever Kyle Gibson pitches. I don't know. It's just how it is. But yeah, this is another one of those tough games to predict because Jake Irvin, you guys know he should have been an all-star. And even though the Nationals won yesterday, I like the Cardinals to bounce back today. Our next game, we have the Seattle Mariners taking on the Chicago White Sox. Another really tough game. I think you guys know whenever you hear the name White Sox, you're like, oh, tough game, just pick against them. No, not really at all, because the matchup kind of does favor the White Sox. Brian Wu against Eric Fetty. Now, you guys know how good Eric Fetty has been. He's probably going to get dealt at the trade deadline. This could be his last start in Chicago. Because he's been so good, you can get so much value for him. Eric Fetty, 7-3 with a 2.98 ERA. Against Brian Wu, 4-1 with a 2.54 ERA. I will still be taking the Seattle Mariners because I just think the Mariners have right now the better offense with Randy Arozarena joining them today, I believe. But yeah, for that, I'll be taking the Seattle Mariners to grab a win today. Next up, the New York Yankees taking on the Boston Red Sox. Now, before we get to this pick, guys, I saw something incredibly interesting. That was an Aaron Boone press conference after they got swept by the New York Mets in the Subway Series that I wanted to play the piece of tape for you guys. Like that 6, please.
No. A poor stretch. I'm not defining. That's it. We got to play better. Okay? We have it right in front of us. We're a really good team that plays shitty of late. We need to be better. I'm not going to define stretch this or that. We got to go win.
This is what Yankees fans have been hearing since they won the World Series in 2009 and have struggled since then. This is what they've heard. We have to play better. We have to play better. It's right in front of us. It's right in front of us. That's what you Yankees fans have been hearing since I was born. Let's keep it 100, guys. It's for all you Yankees fans that are watching this content right now. You guys have definitely been hearing that since 2010, and you guys haven't played better. That's how it's been. The Yankees just continue to choke. They continue to fall down the ladder. Sox win today. Cutter Crawford has a .4 ERA against the Yankees in 2 starts. While Marcus Stroman, no doubt he is not as good on the road, my fault, and definitely not good in Fenway Park. Just that the history shows that Marcus Stroman has a 7 ERA in Fenway Park. For that, though, I'll be taking the Boston Red Sox. All right, next game, the Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Marco Gonzalez on the mound. That's a name you haven't heard in a while. Against Brandon Pfaadt. I will be taking the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks, there's no question about it. They are playing so much better baseball right now. And the Diamondbacks are legitimately making a playoff run, despite not having Merrill Kelly. I will be taking the Arizona Diamondbacks today. They are just playing so much better baseball right now. There's no doubt about it. You can see it once their guys return. They are off to the races. For that, though, I'll be taking the Diamondbacks today. Next game, the Oakland Athletics taking on the Los Angeles Angels. Normally, I am A's on the Angels because it's true. The A's have owned the Los Angeles Angels. This is the one time you'll see this. I will be taking the Los Angeles Angels today. Tyler Anderson, I don't care how much of a fraud you think he is. There's no doubt he has been good this season. He has been one of the biggest surprises, and he's going to get dealt at the trade deadline for some value. This could also be Tyler Anderson's last start with the Los Angeles Angels against Mitch Spence. 6-6, 4.67 ERA. I will be taking the Angels today. I think Tyler Anderson is going to have a really strong start against the Oakland A's. All right, game 1 of 2 of the doubleheader between the Giants and the Rockies. I don't know why we had this, but I don't know, apparently it's a makeup from April or whatever. Ryan Feltner on the mound against Blake Snell. You guys know Blake Snell is on an absolute roll right now. He threw 5-inning shutout against Dodgers. He threw 7-inning shutout against the Twins, and threw another 5-inning but 2 earned run against the Dodgers. Look, there is no doubt that Blake Snell is on an absolute roll right now, but for that, I will be taking the San Francisco Giants as my lock of the day. Second game of the doubleheader between the Colorado Rockies and the San Francisco Giants, I will be taking the San Francisco Giants with Hayden Birdsong on the mound today. Look. Usually the Giants have been dominated by the Colorado Rockies. There's no doubt about it. Except for when Kyle Harrison is pitching for the San Francisco Giants, and it's been the exact opposite. The Giants have dominated. I think both the pitching matchups today just favor the San Francisco Giants. And if you guys know me, I like to pick doubleheaders where a team doesn't sweep and they split. But I don't have that being the case today. Give me the San Francisco Giants. That will do it for this one, guys. Make sure you guys go check out my IG at Big Four Sports Podcast. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.